السلام عليكم. جامعة أفريقيا للعلوم الإنسانية والتطبيقية طرابلس. Africa University for Humanities and Applied Linguistics. EN 217 Reading 3 عبداللطيف العالم. English Department Summer 2020. All rights are reserved. The CV. So, MA for Abdullattif Al-Alam, Masters in English Language in Applied Linguistics. Libyan Academy for High Studies 2012. Telephone number 092-517-4855. Email abdullattifalalam@gmail.com or abdullattifalalam@facebook.com. Let's start. So, جامعة أفريقيا للعلوم الإنسانية والتطبيقية طرابلس. قسم اللغة الإنجليزية. نبذة عن المقرر الدراسي Reading 3 أي استيعاب 3. الوعاء الزمني للمقرر 36 ساعة في الفصل، أي بمعدل 3 ساعات أسبوعيا. الأسبقية لهذا المقرر استيعاب 2. مدرس المادة الأستاذ عبداللطيف العالم. أهداف المقرر: أولا، التركيز على كيفية تحليل النص بعمق. ثانيا، القراءة مع فهم وتوقع لتسلسل الأحداث. ثالثا، القراءة بشكل يحاكي الناطق باللغة الإنجليزية. رابعا، القدرة على النقاش والجواب بشكل مقنع للنص. Course materials. Number 1, following these videos. Number 2, the textbook. This textbook, Effective Reading by Scott Miles. Number 3, for the level intermediate from Macmillan. Right. Here we have the copy for in 2010. Macmillan Publishers Limited 2010. The course requirements: we have midterm 40 marks, and at the end we will have final exam 60 marks. First we start with the contents. Chapter 1 or Unit 1, Personality, page 6. The texts or the topics as above, so below on page 7. And here we have topics: are blood groups and personality related on page 13. Grammar, for example, for Unit 1, relative clauses, skills, personalization, discussion, and summary correction, and so on. Here are the chapters and units, and here are the topics or texts. Here are the grammar topics, and here skills in each topic. And here, as you see, we have reviews, exercises for Unit 1 and for Unit 2. Here also reviews and exercise for Units 3 and 4. And here reviews, exercise for Units 5 and 6. We continue the contents. Here again, chapters, texts, and grammar and skills. Here we have the title for the Unit 7 or Chapter 7. And here we have reviews and exercise for Units 7 and 8. And here we have the page for this exercise as what we call revision. A note, ملاحظة: هذه المحاضرات ما هي إلا تعليم عن بعد للاستفسار والتواصل، الدخول إلى المنصة الإلكترونية وإرسال رسالة إلى البريد الإلكتروني. We start now. First lecture, المحاضرة الأولى. Title for this unit or chapter: Personality, page 6. So this is the cover page for the book, Effective Reading by Scott Miles. intermediate level 3 or level intermediate number 3. And the copy for this book in 2010, sorry. Unit 1, the title, Personality. Pre-reading number 1. The question here, so as an advice for our students, you may follow the videos here, watch the video, listen to me, and you should have your own sheet, or you may buy the original book, right? The book is available in a lot of bookshops in Tripoli. For example, in Ras Hassan, Dar al-Kitab, you can find it there, right? And you should have your own sheet in front of the video. You listen, you follow the video, and write in your own sheet. You write you answer the exercises, and you complete the spaces. For example, complete the sentences with the keywords in bold from the text. So, that means what? You read the questions here, and then you go to the text. You find words in bold. Let's have a look at the text first, in next page, right? Here, this is the page. Here, we have the first word in bold, accurate. Here, we have another word in bold, link, and also in the next page. So first what you do, you have a look at these words, and then go back to the exercise, this one, and you complete these spaces from those words which are written in bold. So complete the sentences with the keywords in bold from the text. Let me read. Number 1. People who have researchers long ago found what? Between cigarette smoking and lung cancer. What did they find? They found a relation, right? Let's say a kind of what? It's written in the text, right? I'll give you the answer. A link. So researchers long ago found a link between cigarette smoking and lung cancer. But smoking is still quite popular, right? Despite these negative what? The answer, you find it in the text, right? So despite these negative consequences, right? Here we write consequences. Number 2, there is also, right, some what? That secondhand smoke, hurting in smoke from other people's cigarettes. What did we write here? Right? There is also some evidence, right? Evidence. So we read again. There is also some evidence that secondhand smoke, breathing in smoke from other people's cigarettes, can be harmful as well. So evidence here. There is also some evidence. Right. Number 3. Though the film was popular, space here, complained that it was just another predictable and unrealistic action film. Here, what do we write here? Right? Critics. Right? So though the film was popular, critics, right, complained that it was just another predictable and unrealistic action film. Number 4. She made several what? About the future. She made several predictions about the future. But none of them were, right here, accurate. Okay? But none of them were accurate. Another exercise here before we read, preparing for our reading. Pre-reading number 2. Right? Read the text below here and answer the question. Now, let's read. Hard-working employees wanted. Right. Libras and Virgos need not apply. The text. In 2009, right, an insurance company in Austria ran a job advertisement in several major newspapers that read, "We are looking for people over 20 for part-time jobs in sales and management with the following star signs," right? Capricorn, right? Taurus, Aquarius, Aries, and Leo. Several quality groups complained that this was not a fair employment right practice. Right? Okay, the question now. Just a moment. Okay, let's read the question here. What do you think about this kind of employment practice? Right? Now, your idea, your opinion about this kind of employment practice, right? Where they say they need people to work, but with the following star signs. They should have, or they should follow the birth according to these star signs. Must be from, or according to Capricorn, or maybe according to Taurus, or Aquarius, or Aries, and Leo, and so on. A. What do you think? Choose one of these as your opinion. What do you think? Astrology is fairly accurate, so it is okay for the company to do this. Or B. Astrology might be accurate. Might be. Right? Might be accurate in some cases, but not for everyone. It is rather unfair for the company to do this. Or you say, see, astrology is not accurate. This is a very unfair practice. Right? You may discuss this topic, right, and the question with the answers, right, with your friend or with your colleague or with your partner. Right? What do you think about, or what's your opinion about the company's need for employees, but they should be as the following star signs? Should be following Capricorn, or Taurus, or Aquarius, or Aries and Leo. Right? You choose one of these, you circle it, and discuss it with your friend. Right? Okay. Let's go to the next page. A title here for this text. So, as above, so below. Now, first, I'll read it for you. After I finish reading, you should try to read as I've done, as a native speaker, or try to improve your reading. You listen to me in the video, and then you try to practice it. Right? And while you are reading, you can record yourself. Right? And then you check it. If you like it, send it to your colleagues to give you a review. If you don't like it, I mean with mistakes, cancel it and record it again. Right. Let's start. In 1979, a French researcher, Michael Gauguin, took out an advertisement in a Paris newspaper offering free personalized horoscopes to the first 150 people who responded. He sent out readings giving details of their personality, and then he asked them to report back on the accuracy of the information. An amazing 94% replied that their readings were very accurate. Right? There were two things the researcher did not mention to the respondents. However, firstly, all 150 people, regardless of their actual birth dates, received the same reading, word for word. Secondly, the reading that they received was one prepared with the time and date of birth of a French doctor called Michael Petiot, or as French read it, Michel or Michel Petiot. In English, Michael Petiot, who was convicted of multiple murders during the Second World War. Right, second paragraph, we read. Okay, let's continue, go on. Here. Astrology is the belief that the position of planets and stars at the time of a person's birth has a strong influence on the person's character and future. Astrology originated in ancient Babylonia more than 3,000 years ago and is still believed by a sizable percentage of people in the West. Recent surveys, right, have found that 31% of Americans believe in astrology and 52% of Europeans consider astrology to be a science, right? Yeah. Now, many newspapers, right, in the West carry horoscopes, right, allowing people to get daily advice according to the astrological sign corresponding to their particular birth date. Astrology is not just for the average person either. Former US President Ronald Reagan was a believer in astrology, and according to a presidential aide, every major decision taken by the president during his 8 years in office was first checked with a well-known astrologer. Former French President Jacques Chirac is said to have checked his horoscope every morning. Now, third paragraph, we start here. Despite the popularity of astrology, the scientific community questions the accuracy of this theory. For example, another study by Michael Gauquelin, or as French read it, Michel Gauquelin, examined the horoscopes of 15,560 professionals from 5 European countries and could find no link between astrological signs and occupations. Perhaps the most damaging studies have been the ones on Astral Twins, here defined as people who are born on the same day. Right. The premise is simple. If one's date of birth has an effect on one's character and future, then people born on the same day should be more similar to each other than to those born on different days. Right? We are here. These studies examined thousands of people who shared birth dates, looking for similarities in personality and intelligence, yet found that these people had no more in common with their astral twin than with anyone else. Scientists also say that a belief in astrology has potential for confirming stereotypes and encouraging discrimination. Right. Now we continue the text on the next page. We go to the next page. Reading here. If researchers largely dismiss astrology as superstition, why do so many people in the West still believe it? For most, it is based on their personal experience. They have found it works for them. So, what does it matter what the studies say? Right. Critics of astrology, we are here. Critics of astrology, however, counter this, but it works for me. Defense with 2 explanations regarding why beliefs in astrology may seem justified to some. The first is called confirmation bias. Confirmation bias refers to the tendency of people to pay more attention to evidence, which seems to agree with and justify their beliefs, and to ignore or forget any evidence that suggests they might be wrong. Right? Now here, someone might remember a particular time, for example, when an astrologer told them they would find love in a particular year, but forget the other times when the astrologer got their predictions wrong. Right? We are here. Secondly, there is what is known as the Forer effect. The Forer effect states that people tend to view general statements that could apply to many people as being highly accurate for them individually. Right? Right, we are here. Consider the following statements. How many are true for you? First, you seem calm and in control on the outside, but in the inside you sometimes feel you feel uncertain and afraid. Here it's not clear. Feel uncertain. It means not certain. And afraid. It's not clear. Sorry about this. Uncertain. It's not clear. Yeah. Next statement or next point about personality. You are an independent thinker. Thinker. It's not clear here as well. So thinker. Think plus ER to be a person. Think as a verb, add ER, it will be a person, right? Thinker. So you are an independent thinker and accept new right ideas only after careful evaluation. Next statement. Here. At times you are shy, but in some circumstances you can be outgoing and talkative. Next paragraph. Do most of those descriptions match you? Well, it turns out that the majority of people find those statements true for them. Only a very few people are shy in all situations, for example. Right? We are here. This explains why nearly all the people who replied to Gogoline's advertisement thought the horoscope reading matched them well individually. Alright. Now we come here to the last paragraph. Regardless of whether or not there is any truth is astrology. For many people, it is something they do for fun and don't take it very seriously. Annie, an American university student, Annie, an American university student, says, I really don't know if astrology is true or not, but it is something fun to talk about with the friends, and it's always interesting to read my horoscope in the morning and see if it turns out right. As long as I'm not paying money to let an astrologer, here it's not clear, to let an astrologer, tell me how to run my life. What's the harm? Here it's not clear. Harm. It means what's the problem, right? Right? So because I don't pay money, right, for astrologer, for example, right, to tell me how to run my life, so nothing is gonna be wrong. What's the problem? What's the harm? Right? Now we go to the exercises pages for this text, and don't forget, after you read, you can go back to the previous exercise, exercise number 1, which says complete the sentences with words that written in bold. Like these words are written in bold here on this page, like predictions, critics, right? You find them on previous page. Let's go back. Here also, accurate, right? And link is here, right? You complete with those words here in these spaces and the check, okay? Right. Now we finish the text. As I said, check my reading again on this video, right? And then switch off the video and try to read from your sheet. And don't forget, you record your video while you are reading. If you like it, send it to your colleagues, not to me. Send it to your colleagues to give you a review, right? Right, let's go to the exercises. Right, let's go to the exercise page. Right, first exercise about the text. Comprehension 1. Decide if the sentences are true, you write or you tick true, or false, you tick false. And then write the line number where the evidence is. After you choose true or false, how do you know it's a true or false? You write the number of the line in the text on the previous pages where you find the evidence for choosing true or false for this statement. Right. For example, number 1. First, I'm gonna read it and give you the answer and line number. Number 1. The research in the text, of course, the research reported in the first paragraph, in paragraph number 1, right, gives evidence of the accuracy of astrology, right? In the first paragraph, you will find an evidence of the accuracy of astrology. First paragraph, do you find an evidence? Actually, the answer is false, right? And you find that because it's false in lines number between lines 8 up to 12. You write here 8-12. Let's check lines 8 and up to 12 back. Let's go back. Right, here 9, that means what? This is 9, this is 8. Between 8 up to 12, up to here, right? So 9, here 9, and here 8. Let's read. All 150 people, right, regardless of their actual birth dates, received, right, the same reading, word for word. Secondly, the reading that they received was one prepared with the time and date of birth of a French doctor called Michel Pichot, who was convicted of multiple murders during the Second World War. Right? This is 10, this is 11, this is 12. Right? Right. Here you find the evidence. It's false. Right? Right. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on. Let's go on, right, to the next question, number 2, here. Right, question number 2. What does it say? Number 2. Astrology, that's a kind of science related to the star signs. Okay, we call it astrology. Astrology is believed by millions of people in America and Europe. What do you think the answer is? Now, before I continue giving you my correct answers, what you do, you should switch off the video and work in your sheet alone. Right? After you finish working on your sheet, you go back to the video and switch it on and check your answers, okay? Because I'm going to give the right answers. Now, number 2, switch off the video, switch it off. Okay, 2. Astrology is believed by millions of people in America and Europe. The answer is true. How do we know it's true? We go to the line numbers right here, line number 17 to 19. Let's go back 17 to 19, 17 here, 15, 16, 17. Right. Recent surveys have found that 31% of Americans believe in astrology, and 52% of Europeans, consider astrology, right, to be a science. Right, very good. That means here in America and in Europe, they believe in astrology. Yeah, true. Right? Good. 3. Most scientific research doesn't support astrology. Scientific researches do not support astrology. The answer is true. Where do we find the line number for the answer true about this? That scientific research, right, doesn't support astrology. Where do we find it? You find it in line number 27 up to 28. If you want, you can go back and check. Question number 4. Confirmation bias can mean remembering only evidence that supports your beliefs and forgetting evidence that goes against your beliefs. Right? The answer we choose here is true. Where do you find the confirmation bias? Line numbers, right, between 48 up to 51. Here we write 48-51. 5. The Forer effect shows that quite often astrologers who work in astrology can give exact and highly accurate information about people. Do they give exact and highly accurate information? The answer is false. They don't. Right? False. Must be here. Okay, sorry. You write F and the square here and tick it. It means false. Where do we find the answer that they don't give accurate answer? Line number between, you write 56-58. 56-58. You find the answer. Question 6. The article suggested that many people who believe in astrology are not harmed by it. The article or the passage or the text here that we have finished reading, it shows that people who believe in astrology, they are not harmed by anything, or it's not a problem for them. No harm can come to them. True. Where do you find the answer for this? In line number 76 up to 77. We write here 76-77. We write it here. Okay. Right. Comprehension number 2. The question here. Answer the questions. Number 1. We read and then we choose A or B or C. Right? Let's read. Number 1. In line number 9, what does the expression word for word mean? Word for word, what does it mean? In line number 9. Does it mean A, using different words but having the same meaning? Or B, using exactly the same word or words? Or C, using the same number of words? Actually, the answer is B. Using exactly the same words. It's in line number 9. You can check it. It's B. Using exactly the same words. Exercise or question 2. In line 28, right? What does the phrase questions the accuracy of this theory mean? What does it mean? Questions the accuracy of this theory. Does it mean A, they don't understand what the theory is accurate, or they don't understand why the theory is accurate, or B, right, they are very curious about the accuracy of the theory, or C, let's see here, or C, they have strong doubts about, here it's about, right, about the accuracy of the theory. The answer is C. They have strong doubts. They are not sure. Strong doubts about the accuracy of the theory. In line number 28, you can go back and check what does the phrase questions in the accuracy of the theory of this theory. This one, it means they have strong doubts about the accuracy of the theory. 3. In line 33, what does premise mean? What does it mean, this word? Premise. Is it A? This A statement on what, or on which, sorry, a statement on which, right, a theory can be based, right? Again, a statement on, right, which a theory can be based. B, right, B, a solution to a question, or C, an idea which is false. This one is false, and this one is a question. The answer is A. Actually, the answer is A. A statement on which a theory can be based. Question 4. In line 42, largely, it means what? A, mostly, or B, in a big way, or C, strongly, or D, loudly. The answer is largely, it means mostly. Mostly. Okay? Right. Let's go to the next page for this unit, right, or for this topic. Question number 5. Let's read the question. What is the meaning of lines 67 up to line 68? What's the meaning of that? If you read it, you go back, you read, and then you come to the answer. You choose A. You feel calm when you are in natural places like parks and mountains, but feel nervous and afraid inside buildings. Or B, it means, or they mean, you are calm in familiar places, but can feel afraid in new or strange places. Or C, even though you might feel upset or scared, you appear calm to other people. In line 67 to 68, it means, right, C. Even though, right, you might feel upset or scared, you appear calm to other people. Right? Last question, number 6. Right? In the final paragraph, what word or expression means happens in a particular way? In the final paragraph, which word, or choose a word or expression that means happens in a particular way? There is a word in the final paragraph. The answer is turns out. Right? Turns out. Okay? Right. Right. Next exercise about speaking. Discuss the questions with a partner. right? Here you should talk to a friend. You may use Viber or WhatsApp. You ask your colleague or your friend a question in English, right? You read it from here, and your friend must prepare in advance the answer and record your, let's say you record your phone call. Record it for you and for your colleague. After you finish asking and answering, send it to your colleagues to give you a review. Question 1. What is your star sign? Choose from a list the star sign for each of you. And the rest of the question, do you consider it an accurate description of your personality? Right? Do you believe in that? 2. Most scientists reject astrology. What is your reaction to this? Do you think the scientists, they have the right to refuse it, to reject it? Choose A, B, or C. A. Choose one. They are probably right. I mean the scientists. It is just a superstition. Or B. You choose this. They might be wrong. Perhaps more research is necessary. Or you choose C. They are probably wrong. It seems clear that there is a link between one's star sign and personality. For me, maybe I choose A. About the scientists, they are probably right. It is just a superstition. Predictions, right? 3. What other beliefs do you know which claim to predict people's personalities? Do you think they are accurate? Do you have any other beliefs, right, about how to predict people's personalities? Right? If you think so, write it here and then read it, record yourself reading and send it to your colleagues. Next exercise, vocabulary. Fox, part 1. Or number 1. Complete the sentences with the correct word. For example, here we read and we choose one word. A, B, C, or D. We choose B here for this question. Let's read. Who knows what will happen next year? Who knows what will happen next year? The answer, no one can justify or reject or predict or prove. No one can predict. Predict means expect. It means to say what's going to happen in future, right? So read the question or statement and complete with one of the words which are given below. 1. Now before I read and give you my model answers, what you do, you switch off the video and you take your sheet, read and write, choose. After you finish the exercise, right, you switch on the video and check your answers, okay? Now switch it off. Number 1. In the West, there is a what? We choose this one. Superstition. So in the West, there is a superstition that breaking a mirror bring bad luck. Right. Superstition means like a thought, right? They believe in it, like belief, right? A superstition, right? That breaking a mirror brings bad luck. So no one really believes it these days, though. These days, no. But in the West, it was. Number 2. Saying you cheated in a test because your mark is important to you is not a good reason for cheating. There is no good excuse you, right? Excuse you can make to what? To prove cheating or to deny cheating or to state cheating or to justify cheating. We choose D. Make you justify cheating. It means give you or gives you the reason for cheating. 3. Let's read 3. the company only employs, right, white people. So some people are some people are accusing it of racial what? We complete the space with discrimination or conformity, yes, or influence or warning. What do we choose here? We choose A, discrimination, right? Racial discrimination, right? Racial, it means according to the color of the skin. Discrimination, something they don't like it these days. People, they don't like discrimination between colors of skins or between sexes, between male and female, between men and women, and so on. So we choose accusing it of racial discrimination, right? Right. So we stop here, and next we continue the next page for this unit. Right. Right, let's start. So this page is for a kind of an exercise, personality and language learning. There is no one ideal personality type for learning a language. Every personality type has its own strengths and weakness, right? This activity will help you understand the strengths and weakness of your own language learning personality type. So for language learning personality type, number 1, exercise 1. Read the statements here and score them according to the scale 1 to 5 here, right? On the left here, according to this score or according to this scale. Your total score tells you what your learning style is. Now, in class, I usually enjoy speaking activities with partners and in small groups. Here you write number. Is it false? You don't enjoy speaking? Or 2, mostly false? Or 3, and sure, you don't know? Or 4, mostly true? Or number 5, true? You write a number. Right. Next, about yourself, maybe you say, I prefer studying with a partner to studying on my own. It means what? I feel it's better for me to study with a friend more than studying alone. Now here, if the sentence is true for you, you write true, or you write no. For example, you write number 1 false, or you choose. Next sentence, you may say, I don't mind asking questions and speaking out in front of the whole class. Is it true about your personality, about yourself? Or false? Or you choose one of these and write the number here. Next, if my English class is not doing something active, I easily get bored. Is it true? You write number 5. Or false? You write number 1. Or you choose one of these. Next, I don't mind if people laugh a little when I make mistakes in speaking. True? 5. Or false? Number 1. Or other numbers you write here. I don't worry about grammar very much when I speak in English. Is it? Write the number according to the sentence about yourself. Now, after we finish, we look at the result here, total score. If the result more than 26, that means extrovert learning style. For you, the style for you about learning is extrovert. We call it extrovert learning style. Between 21 up to 25, we call you, or you may be like what? Mostly extrovert learning style. If the score between 16 and 20, We can say mixture of both extrovert and introvert learning styles. Right? In between. Right. If the score between 11 and 15, mostly introvert learning style. Introvert means you like to study or to learn alone. But extrovert, it's not, the opposite. If it is less than 10, we call you introvert learning style. You like to learn alone. Speaking or about mistakes or about other students' laugh or, and so on and so on. Right? The total score here, you calculate all the numbers here, right? The outcome, the total of the numbers here, you come and you know your personality type of learning. Exercise number 2, read the following descriptions of learning styles. Now here, extrovert and introvert, what's the difference? Extrovert style learners enjoy active learning with others. They like it. They are good at making opportunities to speak and do not worry about making mistakes very much. They are likely to learn English while living in an English-speaking country. Right. However, extrovert-style learners sometimes have trouble studying on their own. They can't study on their own. They like to study with others and are dependent on an active environment to develop language skills. They are also more likely to have grammar problems in their speaking and writing. Right? Now, the introvert style learners prefer studying alone and can concentrate well. They concentrate on everything and they like to study alone. They are not dependent on the outside environment for their learning, and they often do well on written language. When they write well on written language tests. However, they are much more cautious in the using the language, right? In using the language. They are very focusing on words and letters and so on, and grammar. And their speaking skill may take longer to develop than those of extrovert style learners. It means they may take longer time on improving their fluency. Right. Question 3. Now, discuss your answers with a partner. Right. Here, questions we read or you read it and you ask your colleague and your colleague will ask you and give your answers. Question A. What's your learning style now? Ask your friend and your friend will ask you and say why. B. What can you do to overcome your weakness or weaknesses? What things you do? You listen or you watch videos, you take more books at home, you go to the internet, you improve your English by listening to songs and so on. How to improve? Right? Okay. Now, here this page is for the answer key for the exercises that we have had so far since the beginning of this unit, right? For example, in pre-reading exercise number 1, the first exercise, the answers, number 1, link, consequences, sentence 2, evidence, sentence or question number 3 or sentence 3, critics, sentence 4, predictions and accurate, right? All right. And here in comprehension number 1, answers in sentence number 1, it was false. How do we know false? In line numbers between 8 and 12, you find why it's false. 2, sentence 2, true. Why it's true or how do we know? In line numbers between 17 and 19, you will have the answer. 3, it's a true, because in line numbers between 27 and 28, you find the answer and so on. Comprehension 2, number 1, you choose B, 2 you choose C, 3 you choose A, and so on. And number 6, you write turns out. Vocabulary focus number 1, we finished about maybe 3 sentences, and next lecture inshallah we continue the exercise with sentence number 4. Sentence number 1 we choose A, sentence number 2 we chose number D, and number 3 we chose the answer A. Right, let me check it for you. Sorry, let me check it. Yes, up to number 3. Yes, next lecture inshallah we start the vocabulary Fox exercise 1 from the sentence number 4, page 11. Right, so we stop here. Thank you very much. Good luck. See you inshallah next lecture. Thank you. Goodbye.